What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ocho, and we back at it again with another video today, y'all. I've learned a lot of life lessons and experiences from basically growing up without parents. That can be meaning, in and out of my life. That could be meaning being deceased. So, without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. Lone Ranger at your service. A lot of people don't know this, but when I was 13 years old, turning 14 years old, 4th of July weekend, my mom had basically passed away from, drug addiction. It was basically a story that, it was basically something that went horribly wrong. Not horribly wrong. It did go horribly wrong, but I've been trying to look at it in a positive lighting. You can say that for a story time for another time. Once you get further along. But basically understand this, y'all. Some are more blessed than you, and some are less blessed than you. So basically nobody ever has the same situation. Nobody ever has the same scenario. Everybody always has a different way of telling about things and going on with day-to-day life. There's always somebody with a more fucked up situation than you, always. A lot of times life kicks our ass and we may feel like, we got it bad and, we have the, worst situation in the world, but in all reality, there's always somebody with it worse than you. So always remember that there's always somebody with it better than you, and that's okay. Do understand, y'all, that everything happens for a reason. Now, I'm not saying everything I'm not saying everything happens for some big mysterious reason or nothing like that, but I'm just saying there's always a reason behind whatever happened. There's always, whether, I don't know what religion you believe in, or your aspect on life, or what spirituality you are, but there's always a reason behind something. You're not just put on this earth just for the hell of it, just because you are. You didn't just graduate high school because you didn't do anything or because you weren't supposed to. Do understand, y'all, when you lose a parent or parents, time makes it easier, but it doesn't always make certain situations, or the pain doesn't always go away. The pain never goes away, actually. A lot of people try to say it takes time and this and that, and give it some time, but it's never gonna go completely away, because the simple fact, you're now missing a part of you, and you're now missing an aspect on life. Now you have to change your envisionment and change your blueprint and how you live day-to-day life, and now you're forced to survive, whether you like it or not. Time heals things and it helps, but it doesn't make it go away. I think that's the wrong impression a lot of people try to give off and try to feed into your head, and that's completely wrong of people to do, because the simple fact, it's not true. And a lot of times that's coming from people who haven't experienced or lived a day in your shoes. So basically people who are trying to basically tell you about yourself, but really can't, and really don't know how it would feel or understand what you're going through, and never will. And that's okay. You're not bashing them, or we're not coming at those people, but that's something to take into consideration and do realize. When I lost my mom at 13, it made me step up and work harder. As soon as my mom passed away, I made one promise to myself. I said, Mom, I promise I'll make it through high school. I promise I'll graduate just for you. I promise I'll keep going harder, keep going further, because I know that's what you would wanted me to do. And just because you're gone, all life doesn't have to stop. And just because you're gone, doesn't mean you didn't put me on this earth, or you didn't make me be here for, to carry out tasks, and for a reason. I want people to realize, it's not always the end all be all. It made me realize it wasn't the end all be all, because simple fact, because of the simple fact, before that and prior to my mom's passing, and mind y'all, my dad was in and out of jail, so I didn't really have much of a dad either, and that's okay, because my dad had his own personal issues going on. Story time for another video if y'all want. But I realized it wasn't the end all be all, because simple fact, before my mom had passed away and I had lost my mom, I wanted things leading into that, or prior before that, because simple fact, I've always wanted good for myself anyway, and I've always wanted to do good for myself and better for myself, because of the simple fact, I knew that's what I was capable of. It was within my genes and my spiritual presence and my mindset to want to do better and be greater and be able to help my mom out one day, and just give back as appreciation, because my mom did majority, for the most part, taking care of me and my siblings. So I realized it wasn't the end all be all, because simple fact, I wanted more out of life, and I didn't want to give up. It separated me from bad habits, behaviors, and mindsets and people. The reason for that being because simple fact, it took a toll on me, and it changed my way of seeing certain situations. Like I said, my mom had basically passed away from drug addiction and a bad drug problem. We all have people in our lives that have problems with drugs, and it really sucks when that's a loved one or a close one. We all know of somebody with that. So it separated me from from bad behaviors, because of simple fact, like I said, it made me want to do better. I had to realize to myself, this wasn't what my mom would have wanted of me. Because for those who don't know, I used to smoke. I was pretty bad with it, and I used to basically depend on that and rely on that to basically cope with my stress, my anger, frustrations, and basically day-to-day life. It was an addiction for me. I had to overcome that and beat that, because simple fact, like I said, I wanted better for myself, and I knew that wasn't what my mom wanted of me. So that's how it separated me from bad behaviors. It changed my mindset, because simple fact, it made me a stronger person, and it made me realize that nobody on this earth is guaranteed anything. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. That's why God created tomorrow, but we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not promised anything in this world, and it can become a cold world, and a lot of people can be very heartless. That's why it's very important to spread love and positivity to the world, because our lifespan is very, very short. From the moment we come out the womb, the vagina, or stomach, or whatever the fuck. Anyway, from the moment we are born, from the moment our first birthday, we're dying already. It's a bad way to look at it. I don't mean to be negative with that one, but we can't take every life, every moment in life for granted. It's always important to live day-to-day life and enjoy while you're young. I recommend trying to be, working towards success younger, and then relaxing and having more, fun and enjoyment later on, once you get all the hard work out the way, because you don't want to be 40 or 50 or 60 or so. It's never too late to be successful, but you don't want to work harder in life. You want to typically more relaxed in life, and just be able to enjoy life's significance. Once it's all said and done, you want to set yourself up to have a family later on. You don't want to bring your kids or anything into a bad situation as it is. So get that success the earliest as possible, because it's a simple fact, it'll get you further, and it'll make it a whole lot easier for everybody around you. It separated me from certain people because of simple fact. My mom was cool and close with a lot of people, and it was kind of like when she had died, her kids had basically died with her, because a lot of my mom's friends and such and such had promised to be there afterwards, and truth be told, they kind of weren't, which is not, it's not their problem and it's not their fault. I mean, they, they should want to, but at the same time, we have to understand people's lives go on, and time waits on no man type shit. So it separated me from a lot of people, and it doesn't mean those people forgot about me. It just means I was no longer interacting with my mom's associates or friends, because of the simple fact she was an attachment to them, not really us as individual, us siblings. It took me through trials and tribulations. I had to basically fall down to get back up, and it brought more circumstances. When it took me through trials and tribulations, now I had to think about it like this. Now nobody's really responsible for me no more. I ended up moving with my dad, shit like that. But now I don't belong to nobody. So if somebody wants to kick me out or throw me out of their household, that's okay, and I can do nothing about it. If somebody wants to treat me bad or do me bad, that's basically my guardian or whatever they say go. I can't argue back. I don't have no power no more. I mean, I do, but at such a young age, when you lose somebody or somebody separated from you at such a young age, it really makes it hard, because of the simple fact there's not really too much you can do about it, because of the simple fact when you're so young, you don't have the age to work, or you don't have the mindset to work, or you haven't developed into that survivor mentality, or that I gotta step and walk alone. At such a young age, it's very hard to develop into that, because we're not taught that, and we're taken care of up until that point of losing that person. So it put me in a lot of circumstances and shit like that, because of the simple fact I was kicked out multiple times. I was homeless type shit for a few days at a time, and such. I had to go from house to house, and certain decisions I had to live with, and certain decisions I was living with the people they didn't agree with, and it made it hard. So that's how it took me through trials and tribulations, because simple fact, I had to find a new way to survive and live, especially once I got to that age where legally, being grown, nobody was responsible of me. So I'm 20 right now, and basically I'm just out here making a living out of myself. I'm trying to do something to change the world, make it a better place, a step at a time. But it helped me basically see the nature in everyone involved in the situation. So if you cared about my mom, I was gonna see you cared about my mom, or you cared about her kids, because of you did something in despite of my mom, because you like my mom, so you did something to help out us, me and my siblings type shit. And I could see how you felt about my mom if you were basically remorse to the situation and you knew about it. That wasn't thrown in my face, or I wasn't treated any type of way. Obviously, you did care about my mom if you didn't treat me any type of way, or but if you did treat me any type of way, then I picked up on that, and it was always some envy or jealousy prior to my mom's passing that was just unspoken upon type shit. So that's how it helped me see the true nature in a lot of people, because of the simple fact, when time told and shit got rough and hit the fan, your true feelings really came out. Because let's say if you were scared of my mom, or scared to do something while my mom was here, and you did it anyway after she was gone, to affect me in a negative way, or anybody in general, then obviously that's truly how you felt deep down inside when my mom was here, and your true nature showed. The true inner you showed. And that's how you felt to begin with. That you were basically putting on a front and portraying and perpetrating something else, something that you weren't, or being a certain person that you weren't. And that's cool, but it'll come back on you in the end. Good always comes back to good, and bad always comes back to bad. One thing about God, I believe in God personally, because of the miracles I've been through, and where I've gotten to in my life, successfully, not financially, while maintaining and shit. But God doesn't. You have to realize God doesn't like ugly. So, you know, it can make or break you. I've seen certain people start at the top, and then all of a sudden they lose somebody out their life, and now all of a sudden their life basically goes to shambles. And that's not a bad thing. Well, it's a negative thing, but you can't fault those people or disown those people or shame those people, because of everybody handles stress in situations differently. I know for a lot of times, if you did something regretful or that was on your mind heavily right before that person's passing or before they went away, now that's something you have to deal with. You can't take back what you said, can't take back what you did, you can't redo a certain situation or scenario. That's kind of just what it is. It is what it is. So that's how it can either break you, because of the simple fact it's killing you and it's eating you up on the inside and out. It can make you by making you get up each and every day to strive harder and work harder to be something. And this is what I don't want to be like type-ish. Or we can go as far as even you want to accomplish something to give back, and you now have something to motivate you and strive to do better, because of the simple fact now you start to realize, life isn't guaranteed. Now you start to realize you want to give back to that one specific person you love or miss. You now want to start to give back to that one person because of the simple fact you feel like you owe it to them and you owe them the world. Or you now want to start to give back because of the simple fact you're just, you're thankful and you feel like you're blessed as it is because you could have been in that situation. As sad as that is to say, or I'm not trying to be negative or nothing, but that could have been you. So start to realize and come to realization how blessed you are, and tend to take, not take life for granted, and turn the good into something good and take the bad out of something bad. This is not for anybody to feel bad for me. I wasn't sharing my story to basically get remorse and sympathy out of anybody or anything. This is more so to be motivation for the people who have lost a loved one or have someone locked away, or basically have to do without. Any widows out there, any widowers, or children, kids, moms, parents, uncles, aunties, cousins, friends, pastors, employees, anybody who basically needs motivation. Let this be motivation to you. I just want to say this. It tends to feel like it's all said and done and it's all over with, but it's not the end. It's not the end of the world. And just know it's going to get better. It's going to get easier. It's not going to go away. And certain memories and certain situations and certain circumstances, you're going to hear a song on the radio that's going to remind you of that person. And it's going to remind you of what you missed about that person. And it's going to bring back certain memories. But just realize that's God's way of reaching out to you and basically telling you that that person's watching down on you. And that person's watching over you. And that person has never left you spiritually. And that person is standing right behind you and right beside you. And that person's behind you every step of the way. There's going to be times where you want to get success. And there's going to be times where you start to see success. And there's going to be times where you start to become something and start to change for the better. And you're going to wish that person was around. Although that person's not with you physically, that person will always be with you spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And that person will always be in your heart, no matter what anybody says or does. Always stay true to yourself and become the better version of yourself. Be the better version of you, because that's what that person would have wanted you to be. You got to keep going. And I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't get hard at times. I'm not going to sit here and drag this out and say, it's not going to take a toll on you. It's not going to change you for the worse or the good, but it'll change your perspective and outlook on life. And when you start to see other people enjoying time with, that person that you're missing and how they interact with that person, realize, don't hate, don't get upset, don't make a big fuss about it, don't feel bad, don't feel ashamed, don't feel left out. Just be glad, be positive, try to stay positive and do something positive and get through that day or that time to basically get you to the next step. Don't let it eat you alive. Don't sit there and mope around all day. Don't be depressed. Do something positive. And slowly but surely it will get easier with due time and energy and effort. It's not the easiest thing for everybody in the world. We're all made completely different. But there's nothing that none of us can't do. And the only person that can stop you is you. So with that being said, without further ado, y'all, that's gonna do it for today. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Email me if you guys need anything. On this video, I will respond to every single message, every single comment. Feel free to DM me. I don't have social media right now. That's a work in progress. I've been taking time away from social media just to clear my mind with everything and trying to get my life on track and trying to do better for myself and stay positive and find something else to do with my time than be on social media. So there's a hold on that, but feel free to email me. I will have my Patreon and everything set up to better help you guys and be there for y'all and benefit y'all. I love y'all. Stay tuned, stay blessed.